we are going to make whole bread. Then you pour the water. And then we add our resurrected yeast from our last vlog.
This is good yeast texture.
While the birds are doing their stuff again. Hello! The Sioux are extremely playful, just as if I was a toy for them. Because humans are just tall stuff that they can climb on for those little feathery birds.
We are starting to have a good texture. Look at that. It's kind of holding itself, so now we can start working the bread on a flat surface.
It's a small bread, but it seems like good.
Now we are going to let this bread loaf fatten a bit for a couple of days.
Because that's what the yeast is for. The yeast is a bunch of small microorganisms that are going to feed themselves on the flour contained inside the loaf. And those microorganisms are really healthy and good for you. And they also had a lot of diversity in a bread.
Most breads are made out of white flour. Basically, a flour that has been transformed. It's called transformed carbohydrate. What you're looking for a good bread that will be nutritious is integral flour or complete flour, which wasn't transformed in the same way, and which is more nutritive. C'est bon, c'est fini.
Now the bread is covered and we are
Filling the yeast.
with flour.
Exactement, mais il a une bonne odeur.
Hello, so this is how the cheese looks after 1 day of drying.
Today.
Today of drying.
This is how the bread looks after 1 day of growing. You can see here that the bread did increase in size. Look at this fat bread.
Meanwhile, this is how the yeast looks. You can see small bubble on the surface, indicating that it is breathing.
You put flour here, your bowl, and clean knife. Bon. Now we let it rest, covered, for another day or half a day. Look what Joanna managed to do. Joanna climbed up all above the cage. I'm proud of you, Joanna. You now are arboreal bird. Like those. Coo-coo-coo. Oh, coo-coo-coo. Our 2-day raffinage cheese is now ready. It has a really nice odor to it. We see that some molds are starting growing. It's very normal for cheese. In cheese there are all kind of yeast that makes different taste. Look at that. Looks good.
Wow.
How is it?
Just good. Just good.
Just good. Okay, it's gonna be the name of the cheese. It's pretty good. It tastes like fresh goat cheese, but it's using whole milk from cows.
Think of the economy you could make if anytime milk goes bad in your fridge, you could make cheese out of it.
We put our cheese in his cheese coat right here, and we're letting it sit under some pressure to see what it does. We're baking the bread now. Our bread loaf looks quite good. We can see it has also thickened up quite a bit. And now we're gonna cook it into the oven. We are heating the oven at combien?
Max.
And stop at maximum, and we're putting some water so the bread won't dry up. Tonight we're making a fondue, cheese fondue, and we have an old baguette that is old and really tough. We're gonna put some water onto the baguette, put the baguette into the oven, and the baguette will be brand new.
I just realized we need to break it.
Okay.
Now we are going to cook the bread with the water next to it. We don't have really a proper idea of the length of the cooking, so we are going to eyeball it, and when the crust looks done, we are going to take it out.
Look at this bread! It's looking so crispy. We made fondue, so melted cheese, that we are going to eat with our homemade whole bread that we cooked yesterday. Look at me. Eat. Looks so good. How is it?
Oh.
Very hot. Look at this beautiful melted cheese. On le filmait pour la vidéo du coup. Parce que moi je filme en format short depuis tout à l'heure.
Ah merde.
T'inquiète. Moi j'aime beaucoup la muscade surtout.
Is this how you want it set up? I think you guys feng shui the fuck out of this place.